Hello, hello, guys. Let me move the chair. Hello, guys. Welcome back to this live streaming. As I promised you, I made this live streaming in order to let you understand what happened yesterday afternoon. For those who bought the tickets online, you already know what happened actually, but it's nice for me to remember everything and to share it with you so you will understand the more you can, because I don't know what happened online, but I know that you worldwide could watch this show, and I don't know if they put, for example, the subtitles or not. So I don't understand if you understood everything about what happened. So I'm here to let you know everything. Plus, we are going. Sorry, I put something to drink because I have to drink. It would be a long live streaming, I guess. So just understand me. But then I will show you the pamphlet I bought. If you followed me yesterday on Instagram or in the community section, you know that I bought a pamphlet. Plus, we are going to discuss the final key visual, the final key visual that was shown to you during the event. So stay tuned and keep on watching me. First of all, yeah, yesterday it was a special day. Um, we went inside and there was this great stage. I really liked the colors they used. I really liked the view because we could see everything, and it was definitely something awesome. The position was simply great, so we could see them really, really. mm not so far from us. I mean, they were so close to us, and even if yes, we were line 17, as I told you, but it was a pretty close, and I was like, oh, okay, I can see the voice acting so close to me. I was so happy, and yeah, the arena was full. We were 2,000 people, and let me tell you one thing from online. Hello, Claire. Later, I'm going um, to read all of your comments as always. But in the meantime, let me focus because otherwise, I don't remember what I have to say. Let me tell you that if you watched it online, you may have thought, oh, why they don't scream, why they don't make the applause more intense and things like this. I have to tell you that before starting the event, they were telling us that we can't scream, we can't use our voice to communicate with the voice acting. We couldn't say anything because we had to wear the masks, and also because no matter the masks, we couldn't scream or do something like that because there was not the intention to spread something coming from our mouth, that means the air or the saliva. So we couldn't scream at all. I would have liked to be honest, in many cases, but we couldn't. So that's why maybe if you watched it online, everything was so calm, so still. Yes, we were laughing, and you maybe you could hear our laughters, but actually we couldn't say anything, and we couldn't share our emotions as much as we wanted. So it's not that Japanese people are so cold or things like this. It's just that we couldn't. That's why I felt a little bit sad for this, because especially in the intro, we were, look, guys, all people were so excited, but we couldn't do anything. So it was like a, let's refrain our emotions right now. Let's talk with our eyes." But it was pretty amazing. Okay, let's go step by step. Okay, then the lights went off, and This. Oh, the first thing I have to say is that I've watched all the special events of Shingeki no Kyojin online. I found them, and also in the previous live streaming, I remember that I shared with you a moment in which we could hear something from the special event of 2019 or 2020. That was the last, no, 2019, the last special event that they made. And of course, the excitement you feel when they come in, it's 100%. But when you are there, the audio is simply unbelievable. It's like a concert, and it's so loud. So when they started the main OST of Kota Yamamoto and they were coming inside, my heart was pounding. I was not ready for this. I mean, I thought, okay, the audio will be okay, but no, no. It seemed a mixture like being at the cinema and being at a concert, because there were all the instruments, all the mixers behind us, so they could manage the audio in the best way. Also because they had to put it even online, so the resolution is a little bit different online. Definitely, you should go to events like these to experience the feelings you feel when you hear the OST. Boom, 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 boom. That was so amazing. And yeah, of course, even when they came in, uh, and we just had to, yeah, like this instinctively, yeah, you wanted to say, yeah, but we couldn't. We just, we were so crazy, but yeah, it was really beautiful. And of course, if you don't know what happened, I tell you that there were Eren, the voice acting of Eren, not Eren, magari, there were the voice acting of Eren, Mikasa, Armin, Gabi, Jan, and Sasha. And let me tell you, one other thing I really liked is that it was like a show. I mean, you didn't pay to hear them talking like a normal interview, in which there is the question and then there is the answer, and everything is going so fast. No, it was not a normal interview. It was, yeah, let me tell you, like a show, as if they were interpreting their own characters, and they were chit chatting between one another. It was a pretty funny because yeah, let me tell you, one of the best was John, because John, voice actor, he's so great, he's so funny, and we laughed so hard with him, because he liked to interact with us, and he was trying to interpret the John's character, especially against Eren, against the Kaji, because you know that, of course, John is jealous because Mikasa loves Eren, and every time it was the best way to say a punchline to Kaji Yuki. Yeah, look, Mikasa. Later, I'm going to tell you some details specifically, but yeah, firstly, I wanted to tell you what I really liked in general. Yeah, I think that that team of voice acting is a special team because they shared so many thoughts, so many feelings throughout the years in order to create Shingeki no Kyojin. And Shingeki no Kyojin is a long project, so it takes a lot of time for them to interpret these characters, to go inside their personality, and to represent this personality as best as they can. So I think that by getting in touch every day or all the days they need in order to dub, in order to create the voice acting, um, they create automatically even a special relationship between all of them. So that's the result of what we saw yesterday, because when they were interacting, when they were having fun together, and they were chit chatting, they were making jokes, they were um, it seems as if we were watching a team of good friends. And I think that all of them are great friends because mm, even by acting some catchy phrases from the seasons or some specific moments in which they had to underline their pain, it was for them a pain because they were spending lots of time together, and especially when some characters are dying, like in the case of Sasha, and then I will open a big bracket about her. But um, it seems that you really lose a member of a team, even if later you can meet them to have a coffee outside. But it was really beautiful to see how they interact after all these years and the great connection that they had together. Yeah, absolutely. I was happy that they didn't put any spoiler, let me tell you honestly, even if later I'm going to tell you one small thing about John, voice actor, that I was like, John, shut up, don't say anything. But as I was telling you, they didn't put spoilers, they didn't say anything because based on the previous special events, they made in the past, they are not used to anticipate anything, they are not used to tell you any small detail or something like that, because it's quite disrespectful for all the people who didn't read the manga. So they are there as voice acting, so they are they are following what the anime does and not what the manga is doing. So even if the manga is finished, they don't have the rights to put spoilers like these. They just have to follow the script, and they have to follow what they are announcing, what they have to say, what they can say. So it was better like this, and whew, I was saved. I mean, I didn't risk to see anything that was about to happen from January. So it was a really nice feeling, to be honest, because I don't like spoilers. So if there was a spoiler, oh, I was so sad. But yeah, going going on. I wanted to tell you that the first part, it was just an interview based on some scenes that they were showing us. And look, even the scenes they were showing us before the main question and the main answer, well, the audio was simply great. It seemed as if you were there. So of course online, the perception of what I'm saying is not the same, because um yeah, the audio is different. So what I'm telling you is that what I felt over there was so emotional, and it seemed as if we were inside of a Shingeki no Kyojin episode, looking at the screen, even if it was not a big, like a cinema screen, okay? But it was so intense to hear some parts of some episodes, or some scenes, specific scenes, and then we are going to talk about that too. But yeah, I got chills many times. The depth of their voices while they were showing us some small scenes, and then they were asking. I mean, the main announcer, that she is always the announcer during an anime event. If you know her, if you watched it online, you know that that woman is over there always for JoJo, Shingeki no Kyojin. There was even there for the Full Metal Alchemist event, the Demon Slayer event. She is always the announcer for the special events of anime. So when I saw her, I was like, oh, okay, I know her, because she's always there asking questions to the voice acting and things like this. So it was really nice to meet her in person. I mean, to see her from a distance, and yeah, it was really beautiful too. But yeah, she was asking, after these small scenes, she was asking the characters how they felt, if it was hard to recreate the feelings, okay, of the main characters, if yeah, how it was to act that specific scene and what the character had to interpret in that moment. Let me be honest, one of those six voice acting were who were there, who surprised me a lot, because it was live. I mean, I was there listening to them. It was Gabi's voice actress. I really love her. I mean, I love how she's acting, how I love how she's describing the feelings she had, because everybody recognized her ability to scream, and how she was chosen actually, because Sakura-san, she was chosen after a detailed search for Gabi's voice actress, because it was a little bit difficult to find the perfect match for this character. And there was a big bracket about the scene in which she's screaming, Raina! That moment, oh, in fact, when they showed us the scene, I was like, wow, with this audio, it's impossible for you not to feel anything. She was simply great by doing that scene, and all the other voice acting were praising her, especially Inoue-san. I mean, the voice actress of Armin. She was praising her because she was a little bit proud, because she was the one who was suggesting somehow to take Sakura inside of the team as Gabi. So yeah, as a senpai, she was proud to say, okay, let me say that I chose her a little bit. But, she was saying, I mean, Inoue-san, she was saying to Sakura-san, I'm so glad that you were Gabi, because you could absolutely go inside, immerse yourself in this character, and you made it the best thing. And then it was so funny, because then Sakura's, I mean, the voice actress of Gabi, she was chit chatting with Eren and with all the others, because, of course, by playing the role of Gabi, as I told you, they were chit chatting and they were making jokes between them. Ah, look, he is going to kill everybody. And then Sakura said, oh, no, that's not right. I mean, as if, yeah, we were in front of Eren, Mikasa, Armin, Sasha, Jan, and the, who am I missing? Sasha, Jan, and, Mikasa, Mikasa. So I think that it was pretty amazing, that moment. And yeah, that scream of Reiner, every time I feel it, I feel it. I mean, every time I see it or I hear it, I think that was the best choice. Sakura-san was so amazing yesterday, explaining everything she felt, especially because that scream had to be so natural. So she was training to make that sort of a feeling, and she was explained the mood of the moment and how it was helpful to scream, because it was the highest level of desperation. So woo, that was really nice. And yeah, throughout this first part in which they were talking, I don't know how much it lasted, because actually the event was supposed to be 1 hour and a half, as I was showing you from the pictures in the community section. You can still go and check them out. But at the end of the day, it lasted 2 hours. And yeah, at the end of this event, Kaji was saying, "So sorry," because the announcer was saying, "Look, we are almost finished." But Kaji was saying, look, even if I know that we are out of time, because Japanese people are always punctual. I mean, during an event, they don't like to go over the limit. But Kaji said, look, this is an important event for Shingeki no Kyojin. One of the, I mean, the last event for Shingeki no Kyojin. So Even if we went out of the time limit, who cares? It's so beautiful to talk to this audience and also to the people who are watching online. So it well deserved. Even if it lasted 30 minutes more, I was just happy. I mean, the fact that we could pay for 1 hour and a half and then it was 2 hours, I was simply amazed. And let me tell you, all the voice acting, they are so natural. They were looking at us and they were so great because they were not people who wanted to be superior or they act as if no, 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 no. They were so friendly, they were so natural with us. And I remember at the end when Nakaji was going out, I don't know if they showed this to you, but after they said goodbye, Shinzo Sasageyo, etc., etc., they went out of the stage, and by going out of the stage they were just doing like this because we couldn't. So the only thing we were doing all together was like, we couldn't scream and nothing. But I remember that Kaji said, I hope to see you again somewhere else maybe, but I hope that we can meet somewhere else. And he was saying this to all the audience, so it was so beautiful. If they will make another event, I think I will try the auction one more time, because at the beginning, when they were all saying hello, my name is Kazuyuki, I am the voice acting of Eren, and all the others, blah blah blah, blah, the same thing. Mm, After the introduction of these voice acting, Kaji was asking, "Is there somebody who came from the previous special event?" And some people raised their hands. They were not so many, but some people were there even 2 years ago. So if they make another event, I wanted to try the auction one more time. Let's see if I'm lucky once again. If there will be another one, because once again, I know that the leaker said that there will be the movie after the second part, but nobody said anything about this. Nobody was making some catchy phrases as if something else was happening later. They were so respectful about this and they didn't say anything. Also, because, as I told you, if they have to announce something great or something big like this, they don't wait a special event like this to announce it. They wait at the end of a part two, because all fans have to be incredibly surprised by seeing the announcement of a movie in the case. But they were not saying that there will be another special event later. They were not making some intention as if you had to understand that something else was happening later. So I can't tell you anything about this. But in the case there will be a movie, maybe they will make a special event dedicated specifically to part two, because this special event was centered to part one. So um, it was not possible to announce anything that is happening after part two. This is something that I already told you, and many people were saying, no, but the leaker said it. Yeah, but the leaker can say everything. Until the official announcement, the leaker stays the leaker. So we can't base our thoughts on these, okay? And okay, let me go back to what I was saying. Yeah, there was this interview between one and the other. They were showing some small scenes, some small details, and of course it was everything is so intense. Um, they were explaining what they felt, especially I remember when Kajiyuki was explaining his feelings about Tatakai, and that was one of the small scene that he made later, but first he was just explaining, okay, in the first part. He said that in that moment he didn't know how to say this tatakai, because one thing is when you read the manga and one thing is when you have to interpret with your own voice the feeling, the mood, the intonation, everything, okay. Even the breaks between one sentence and the other, the silence in between, so everything is so detailed and so particular that has to be perfect in that moment. So I remember that he said that he called Isayama and he was asking us some suggestions about these tatakai tatakai because he knew that that part was something great and important, because after that, you know that Eren will start going on with the Jaegerists and all these things. So he needed these emotional intonation that was based on Isayama's suggestions. And I was happy that he said, I like one thing about this voice acting is the fact that they are humble. I mean, they are really humble when they explain what happened, because they are not saying, oh no, it was easy, oh no, I did everything perfectly from the first time, and no, no, it was not so difficult as it seemed. No, they are humble because they like to um, tell you how difficult it was, and how difficult it was to go beyond their limits. So they are not afraid to tell you, look, I didn't know what to do, so I called Isayama, or I didn't know what to do, so it was thanks to the Mappa Studio that they could help us to understand what to do in that specific scene and things like this. I remember, in fact, that even Mikasa voice actress, she was praising Mappa and their help, because they were contacting one another all the times to know how to handle that specific scene, how these animation should have been in order for them to understand the intonation, the voice, many things. So I like this side of their personality too, because it was so great to see that they are not superior than others. They are common people and they like what they do. It's their life, and they are not afraid to share these things with you. So it was so beautiful. Yeah, I really like that. But the fact that he said, I called Isayama to help me with the tatakai tatakai because Kaji was so great, because he was the he was the master of all this voice acting, because he is always the first one to appear, he is always the last one to say goodbye, he is like the boss of this team, let's say. But at the same time, Kaji is really, yeah, humble, really a really sweet person, and he likes to make all the others feel comfortable, especially in this case Gabi, who is the newcomer. I mean, she's the new voice acting coming in this group, and he was always ready to let her laugh, or to start a sort of a fight with him, because Eren and Gabi, you know what I mean. But that was so nice. And yeah, there was that moment in which they were asking, well, did you read the end of the manga? And Mikasa and Armin, the voice actress, they said, no, we didn't read the end. So we will discover everything when we will have to play the script. And all the people were, "Oh, really? I mean, really?" Because for the first time, to be honest, I was feeling as if I was not alone, because they also don't know the ending, and I don't know the ending. So I was like, good, I'm not alone in this. This is great. And John read, I mean, the voice actor of John read the end of the story. I think, no, 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 wait. Even Kaji said that, if I'm not wrong, and if I remember well, he didn't read it too, the end. So I was like, but at that time I read that Kajiyuki cried because he read the script. But I think that in that moment he was referring to the script of the part one. Because actually, yeah, when we will reach that moment of the scene of I hate you, Mikasa, I will tell you what he said. But um, when he was saying I read the script and I cried, it was not because the script of everything. I mean, the entire script of the final season. It was the script of the season four, part one. So if I remember well, and usually I have a longer term memory, so I think I remember, all three didn't read the end so far. And John, on purpose, the voice actor of John said, "Oh, I read the end." I was like, "John, don't put spoilers now. Don't say anything, okay?" And John, the voice actor of John, suddenly said, "Ah, so should I tell you the last scene? Look, in the last scene," and all people, "No, don't say anything." No, in fact, even Armin, Mikasa, and Eren were saying, "No, don't say it. You can't. No, no." For a second, look, I was afraid, but I knew that it was just a joke. But in that moment, I was like, "No, don't say anything, please." It was really, really funny. And in fact, we were all laughing. I don't know if you heard our laughters from online, but we were laughing so hard. I think John, voice actor, was one of the best. We laughed so much. And yeah, that small thing was simply beautiful. And yeah, regarding the scene when they were describing the scene in which Eren is saying, "I hate you so much, Mikasa, since the beginning," and things like this, he was saying that that scene, okay, even Inoue-san, I mean Armin, the voice actress, she was saying this, it was really hard because the three of them, they are together since the beginning, since season one, episode one. And that moment in which they split was so cruel, so hard, because as I told you at the beginning of the live streaming, they are re- we can say that they became real friends actually. And when you have to interpret this thing, you go deep inside yourself to find the same feeling, to convey to others. And that scene was the hardest one so far to do, because Eren had to force himself to say that thing and to find his way to go on with his mission. So for Kaji was so hard to say that sentence because, mm, and of course, look, even if it's not a spoiler, but for all the people who are anime only, they can guess, okay? They can guess the fact that Eren was acting in that moment and he is not hating Mikasa at all. But yeah, even Inoue-san, Armin, voice actress, she was saying in that moment when Armin is punched and for the first time by Eren, and they had to remember all the best scene they lived together before, and then to convey all the sadness and all the frustration in that scene. I agree with this, because when you see that scene, when you watch it, you feel it totally. And it's like, as I told you many months ago, during the rewatch, it's like as if we are part of them, we are part of this friendship, and we audience, I mean we people, streamers, whatever, who are watching that scene, we feel as if we are all friends of Mikasa, Armin, and Eren. And when they split, it's as if our heart is breaking too, because we were always together with them in this adventure. So I think that they recreate the best tones, the best mood, the best atmosphere, the best intonation, everything. And it was so nice how they explained how hard it was that moment, because it was so real, even in real life, that every time they think about the moment in which they made that scene, it was really hard for them not to cry because they felt it. And I understand. I think I can never become a voice acting or something like that. They make such a great and amazing job that I cannot do it. Because if I did it, I think I would have cried during the scene. If I cry for a reaction, I try to imagine for a voice acting. But okay, it was everything. It was so nice. And yeah, another thing I remember right now is that Gabi, voice actress, was saying that they were talking about Falco, because of course I would have liked to see Falco voice acting, that is Tanjiro of Demon Slayer, and I've heard that he will be even the voice acting of a Summertime Rendering, the male character. So Falco's voice actor is so busy right now, and he has a three project to make. So that's why he couldn't come. And in fact, even even Gabi's voice actress said, Sakura-san, she said, he's so busy. He's so busy right now. And this moment, it was when the other voice acting, Rainer and Connie, were sending these messages to all of us and to all the people who watched it online. Um, but yeah, it was so beautiful how they described all the things. And yeah, it was really intense, even if it lasted quite long, I think. But it was so beautiful to watch. Just a second that I turn on the light because there is a lot of sun coming inside, but I don't understand why I'm so dark right now. Just a second. I'm turning the other light. I don't know if it's better like this, but okay. Okay, here I am. Maybe. No, it's the same. Maybe because now it's morning, so all the sun is coming like this. And but anyway, try to understand me. Then there was ooh, the second part was the Arigato Sayonara Sasha san, and wow, it was so intense. I don't want it to be fake. I wanted to be honest with you. I cried in that moment too. Um, yes, yes. Before this, Sasha voice acting when she was talking with all the others, she was messing with all the sentences, and all the voice acting were not understanding what she wanted to say because she said, "Oh, acting in this season four, part one was so funny. We had all fun," and they were looking at her as if, "Look, you were shot, so how it's supposed to be funny?" And they were laughing so much because she kept repeating, "No, I love you, all of you." Uh, she said, "I love all of you guys," and in the meantime, a Gabi voice actress was looking at her like this. Are you sure? But it was so funny. But anyway, yeah. Then there was this moment in which she had to say goodbye. I mean, thank you for the support for all these seasons, and also goodbye because you know that Sasha um, was dead in episode 8. So it was so beautiful, this moment dedicated to this uh, character that is one of my favorite. And I really liked that because even if Sasha is the typical character that makes you laugh, that is so stupid, that seems stupid, but she's not. And in fact, Kaya is the best example for this. I really liked that they gave her the space she needed, and they started with some scenes in which that was the funniest moment, and then we went on until we reached her death. And look, when we reached that scene and how she was commenting this, it made me cry. And I think I was not the only one crying, guys, because I mean, even the voice actress of Sasha was crying during what she was saying. She was thanking all the crowd to be there, to support her, and to like a character like Sasha. Because it was not easy to interpret a character like her. And she was thanking Isayama sensei, but also all of the people who worked with her to make this character come true. Um, she liked about Sasha the fact that she was always positive, and she was always trying to find the great way to go on in her way. That means the simplest and the funniest way, even in hard situations. And yeah, then she was talking about the great relationship she made with all the cast, with all the other voice acting, and how beautiful this experience was, even if it was pretty long, because even a Sasha voice actress, she's there since season one, and it was like a journey. Yeah, and by going on talking like this, she got emotional and she was crying. She couldn't even. Sometimes she couldn't even talk. So she stopped so many times and she was asking for help. And in that moment, I would have liked to clap my hands and to tell her, Brava, Sasha! I mean, something. But everyone was silent because we couldn't scream, we couldn't use our voice. And but anyway, I would have liked to clap my hands to her when she was crying, because it makes you understand that, yeah, even she said it, that Sasha now is part of me, because after so many years that you have to be a character like this, you share these feelings with the character itself. And it's so nice because you become part of that character, and it's a beautiful memory that you will keep it forever. So ooh, that moment was pretty hard, to be honest. And I saw that even Armin, voice actress, even if you didn't see it, probably because the screen on top, it was reflecting what you online could see. But I was looking even down to the voice acting, of course, because I was looking at the screen just for the scenes, or when they were showing the messages and things like this. But most of, I mean, 99% of the time I was looking at them because I was pretty close, to be honest. And I wanted to enjoy that moment. And I saw that even Armin's voice actress, she was crying when Sasha voice acting was crying. In fact, she took the towel she had over there to clean herself so soon, as much as she could, because that moment was really intense. They are friends, so it's not just a job, it's more than this. And it was really, really beautiful. Yeah, that moment was so intense. They didn't even know how to go on, because she was interrupting herself so many times, because she couldn't find words, proper words to describe how she felt. But at the end of the day, she made it. And yeah, so intense. And in fact, in the first scene, when we see the best of Sasha, in which there are all the funny moments, and we were laughing so hard. And they were talking even about the interaction between Sasha and Nicolo. And yeah, she was just saying that Nicolo was so nice because he could help her to enjoy the food as much as I told you. In fact, she was not loving Nicolo, even if Nicolo loved her, but she was praising Nicolo for his skills to reproduce such a great food. And yeah, it was so nice, that part dedicated to Sasha. And I think that even if she's a secondary character, we understood from part one that she indirectly became one of the main characters. So that was the best thing to do. And in fact, it was pretty emotional. Look, I didn't expect to cry, for real, but in that moment, I got emotional so much. And by seeing her crying, automatically I cried a little bit, to be honest. Yeah, absolutely. Then there were the other messages from the other two voice acting, Rainer and Connie. Look, I was so happy to see a Rainer voice actor in the message, because I hoped to see him over there, but he couldn't come because he was pretty busy. In fact, he was saying sorry that he couldn't come. And yeah, he was mocking Eren so much. He was mocking so Eren. Oh, look, in fact, Eren, I mean, Kaji was responding to him while the video was going. He was saying, is it lasting so long? Do we still have other minutes for him, or things like this? Because, as I told you, during this type of events, they are not just a Kaji Yuki or Marina Inoue or Ishikawa-san. They are. they are Eren and Mika's Armin. I mean, they are interpreting their roles too. So it was really funny, yeah, to see that. And then when the Connie voice actor sending the message too, he was talking about John and Sasha, and yeah, he was remarking once again because he knew that Gabi voice actors was there. That if they shot Gabi, if they shot Gabi at this point, Sasha would have still been alive. And in that moment, he was a little bit interpreting Connie's feelings because for Connie, Sasha was his twin. So he couldn't say, "Good job, Gabi." But at that moment, yeah, we were laughing so much. Yeah. Even the fact that he was reading the questions and then he was answering. It was so funny. But I was happy to see them. Yeah. Then, when after these messages, in which, okay, they say Tanoshimi, I mean, they say that they can't wait for the audience to watch part two, and they were just joking. For example, even Rainer was saying, because one of the questions was, do you want to say something to one of the voice acting over there? And Rainer said, I feel embarrassed right now. Look, we laughed a lot. But then there was another message, and I thought, oh my. And because of the announcer was saying, no, it's not a voice acting. So I was prepared myself, and I was saying, is it Isayama? I'm going to shake. But no, he was the teacher, or the master of the voice acting. I mean, the one who's staying behind while the voice acting are making the scenes, and he's suggesting them what to do and how to do that. He was not saying so many things, but he was just thanking all the voice acting because he was proud for that, for all of them, because he could work with all of them. So he didn't say anything specifically, but it was nice to see him too, because of course great voice acting are helped by somebody who has the work to who has this job to handle them and to guide them throughout the scenes. So it was so beautiful, and I think he deserved his space in this special event, because it's also thanks to him that these voice acting have a great result. But yeah, I thought it was Isayama, but no, okay, no. um, then what else? Yes, then there was the moment in which they had to recreate some scenes, and I was waiting for that moment because I think that that's the best part of the special event, because there was the screen, as I told you, and under the screen they were them trying to react, try to remake those scenes. I was looking at the screen on purpose and not to them, because I wanted to see if I felt as if I was watching an episode. They were 100% great. Look, I can't tell you the contrary, because I felt it so much. The audio was perfect, the intonation was perfect. I remember the scenes they made, and while rehearing them, I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. I just remember that I looked at the screen, faking that I was at home, turning on the TV and watched the episode over and over again. It was the same. That means that's pure talent. That means that what they do, they are not doing it because it's just a job, but because they feel it. It's so intense. The way they were acting once again, that I was like, but the first scene, I mean, the first episode in which Gabi is throwing the TNT, I mean, the explosive, she was screaming like, and at the same time I was looking at the screen, and suddenly I was just looking at her, and she was, ah! Sakura-san was a great surprise, let me tell you, and I really love before participating to this main event and special event, I thought that the voice actress of Gabi made a great job, but today, after seeing her live acting like that, I was like, wow. And even the director of the voice acting, the man who appeared after Rainer and Connie, said that his best part was the Rainer scream, because even he was like, whoa. She's so great. She's pretty powerful, and I admire her so much. I think Gabi couldn't have a greater Seiyu than her. That was really awesome. And as I told you, they remade the Tatakai, and even when he was saying Tatakai, like it was the same as the episode. And even if later Kaji said, "Look, sorry, today I don't feel 100% of the power that I put." No, what are you saying? No, what are you saying, Kaji? You were perfect in that scene. I was like, why do you say that you're not 100%? No, you are, because you recreated the same tone, the same mood in 2 seconds, because after one scene there was starting another one. So this is pure talent, absolutely. And I was so happy to be there. Let me be honest with you. It was a great experience. Then they make the entire scene, as I was telling you, of the moment in which he's saying that he hates Mikasa, and Armin that is punched. That scene was incredible too, and it was together with Gabi the second and the last scene in which I was switching my eyes between the screen and the voice acting, because while there is the moment in which Armin is punched, the voice acting of Armin, Owe-san, she was moving like this, as if she was really punched by somebody. And in fact, the result was amazing. I was so speechless at that moment. And yeah, even Mikasa, when she's starting crying, so beautiful. They recreated the entire scene of that moment. I couldn't wait for more because that scene, I think, yeah, it's one of the best scenes of part one to me. So the fact that they remade it, I was so happy. And one thing about John, that he's also saying it in their interview in the pamphlet. Later, I'm going to show you. He is saying that, in his opinion, John is the character that developed the best, or developed so much. And I agree with this, because if you remember how John was in season one, and how John is in season four, you understand the difference. And I think that he made a great job too. They remade, I think, yeah, 5 scenes, if I'm not wrong, 5 or 6, and it was pretty amazing. um, then after this moment, they just said, they announced the key visual, and we are going to talk about it really, really soon. I mean, sooner after I finish. The key visual, so great. We are going to analyze it in a few minutes. Um, and then they said goodbye. Mm, But one thing I wanted to say that I felt emotional once again is when Sasha said, because it was her last goodbye for this project, she was saying, I'm happy that I was making this experience, and now uh, this experience is not finished for me actually because um, by being a long project, I will always be there connected to Sasha. And at this point, Sasha is gone, but it's not the only one who's gone. Now she is together with Marco and Erwin, and all of them they still play a great role. And in that moment, look, I felt emotional because when we are talking about this stuff, I can't. I mean, when they are talking, you know that when we're talking about death and the fact that I imagine now Sasha next to Marco and Erwin. Oh my, I can't. I can't. If I think about it, I think I'm crying even now. So it's better for me not to think about it. But yeah, it was a pretty intense her last farewell, but it was so great. Yeah. And one thing. Wait, now I remember when a Jan voice actor was saying because they were talking about Mikasa saying Eren onegai kaite kite. Jan, Jan, voice actor, in that moment said, Eren, come on, everyone wanted to be in your position because he was playing the Jan's role. And he was saying, look, if Mikasa told me, Jan, onegai kaite kite, I would have answered, that means he was making something stupid. But he was saying as if he was immediately ready to go with Mikasa, okay? And then Jana was asking the voice actor of Jana, because I called them like the characters, because to me they were like the characters in that moment. But okay, the Jana's voice actor said, Mikasa, do you love me? And the Mikasa said, Eren is here, so so in that moment, I was like, Jana, bye bye. It was so funny. Of course. And then at the end, when a John voice actor said, Shingeki no Kyojin, yeah! There was a silence and then we laughed so much. No, look, that voice actor, he's simply amazing. One of the best of the event. And yeah, then they said goodbye. They said their last messages. Kaji said, the fight still has to go ahead. Yes, we are ready to fight. Yes. And Mikasa, in her last message, said Mikasa really wants to trust Eren, but sometimes it's different, it's difficult. But at the end of the day, I think that it's better if Mikasa. No, but she said, but at the end of the day, Mikasa is trusting Eren. And I said, to myself, because I couldn't scream, I couldn't do anything. But I said in my mind, yes, keep going on trusting Eren, because Eren is doing this for a purpose. So it's not because he really hates you. So that was really beautiful too. Yeah, absolutely. And another thing now that I remember, because see, sometimes I don't remember at that moment, but I remember later. The moment in which they were analyzing Armin transformed into the Chogata Kyojin, that means the colossal. He Inoue-san was talking about the fact, together with the Jan, that Armin is talking to Annie, and the fact that he took the Titan from Bertold. And um, Kaji Yuki later was talking about this as if he was Eren, because they were saying, now Armin is thinking about Annie, and how do you feel, Kaji-san? And he said, that's right, that means not so nice. That's so bad. Actually, yes. That's why, even in one of my rewatch of these weeks, I was telling you, when Eren will discover that Armin is in love with Annie, what he is supposed to say, what he's supposed to do, because in his opinion, after all that happened, it's because of them that Carla died, actually. So how is he going to react? I can't wait for that moment too, because this moment will arrive for sure. And I don't know what to think, but I like the when Kaji said Tsurai desu ne. Yeah, a little bit, absolutely. Okay, the event finished like that, and another thing I want to say is that before entering, they were checking our temperatures. They were checking if we had the mask and if we were writing a sort of note from Google that was confirming the fact that we don't have a fever, that we didn't have the virus before, and things like this. So um, it was so precise, to be honest, and but before entering, there were two girls or three girls. Yeah, they had the dolls. I mean, they were the dolls, like a half of my body, okay, of Eren, Levi, and Erwin. They took those dolls to the event to take the pictures over there. I think online you can find them, but yeah, they took these dolls and they were all precise. The Levi doll was simply amazing. I thought it was a gadget, to be honest, but no. In fact, later I'm going to show you even the gadgets. And that's why I bought the pamphlet, because later I will explain you why. But yeah, that was the event, and yeah, 2 hours. It lasted 2 hours, and I was so happy because even the fact that during the interview they were not planning to have a specific time limit to talk for each sentence, sorry, for each question. They were free to talk how much they wanted, and that's why we went out of time. Instead of a 1 hour and a half, we reached the 2 hours. And that's nice. It means that they are natural and they are spontaneous. They are not commanded, or they are not following a script, or they are not following a specific time limit for each answer. So I felt so great for this. Okay, oops, I bought the pamphlet. Here it is. And that's the, I don't know why it's written Attack on Titan instead of Shingeki no Kyojin, but okay. Maybe it's because I think they will put these cover even for the DVD, because I think that they will make a DVD for this as much as they did for all the other events. In fact, here in Japan, there were even the DVD of the previous special events. So I think that they will make these uh, DVD also for this. And of course, there's Kodansha. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, Kodansha. And it's made in Japan. It was 28 euros. And it's written special event. And it's written here, it's written the final season special event, the name of all the voice acting. That means Yuki Kaji, Yui Ishikawa, that is Mikasa, Marina Inoue, that is Armin, Yu Kobayashi, that is, I think she's, yes, Sasha, Kisho wait, Kisho Taniyama, that is Jan, and Ayane Sakura, that is Gabi. And here there is the date of the event, plus the place in which it was held. That means Kawaguchi Lilia Main Hall. And yeah, I think I will put all the pictures, the best quality of the pictures on Instagram. So you can go and follow me on the Our Eyes, Your Eyes official Instagram. But I will show you even now, even if the quality maybe it's not so great, so you can't see everything in detail. There are all the characters. Yeah. Actually, they were mentioning even Hanji for a second. I would have liked to see Romy Park, but okay, she was not coming, and even Levi, of course, but he was not there. And yeah, so beautiful. Now let's open it. Ah, wait, let me see behind. Oh yeah, the behind there's Eren putting on his jacket here. See, okay, let's open this pamphlet. See, there is these. Wait, I love Ruby Park. See, yes, Claire, me too. And okay, this is the first page. Don't worry, I will put it on Instagram better so you will see. There is the Kajiyuki. There is Eren. There is his autograph with written Eren Yeager. And there are all the most important moments here. And there is an interview of each of the voice acting, but most of them they are repeating the same things that they said during the event, more or less. For example, he is asked which scene he loved the most throughout these seasons, and he said almost all of them, and I agree with him because Eren's character is so great. So yeah, I think that he made a great job as a voice acting. I love him even now in Osama ranking because he's making died up, and I love him also because he has this great voice even in Hunkeru in Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai. He's wow, so great. And okay, this is the autograph of Kaji. Look, he's making this long line. That's so great. Then we have Mikasa. Here we go. A page dedicated to Mikasa, in which there is a wait. There is her autograph here with this big heart, and I think that's her. It's so cute. And here it's written Mikasa, and yeah, she's saying during the interview that one of the scenes she loved the most is, as I was telling you in the last rewatch, the two parts. You should go and watch that thing because it was the rewatch. But anyway, she's saying that her favorite moment is when um, in season 1, episode 6, when there is the first tatakae plus the sentence that they are repeating in season 4, and even at the moment of the scarf in season 2. Yeah, I like that too. Because there is a reason why. Anyway, she's so beautiful, even live. She's so cute. She's always so modest, and she's always in this pose. I like her so much. The typical Japanese woman, I guess. Yeah, I really like her. And then she is saying that um, she can't that she can't wait to see what's going to happen to Mikasa, and her character is uh, so silent as for feelings, but then when she's exploding, she you can understand her feelings so clearly. And every time now she's working in other projects, they are always remembering her as Mikasa. Mikasa always acting. Yes, I think we will all do the same thing, I guess. Then we have Marina Inoue, Armin. Here is the autograph here that is printed. Okay, it's not that they made it on me. It would have been so great, but no, it's impossible. Anyway, Arumin Arureruto. And she's saying that her favorite scene is in season 3 when Armin is trying to save Eren once again before being burnt. And the fact that she knows that after Erwin's death, Armin is always feeling guilty because of that decision, because Armin didn't feel good enough to be there as the main role of the Chogata Kyojin, that means the colossal. And then she's saying some other things that I already told you during the event, because some of the questions, they were almost the same. For example, what do you wait for the next part? Or is there a moment in which you felt the worst? And in fact, she's saying even here that the moment of the three, the Bika Siren and Armin, during this final season part 1 was pretty hard, let's say. Then we have Sasha. Here we go. Sasha with her beautiful autograph here, Sasha Buraus. And even here, she is saying more or less what I told you. That means that Sasha is still a character that she will never forget, and it will be part of her no matter how much she will go ahead with other projects. But it was so beautiful to see that Sasha could have had such a long span character role, because yeah, to be honest, from what I heard, Isayama wanted to kill her before as a character. So it was nice for her to go on with this project. And yeah, once again, she's explaining that she loves everyone of the voice acting and things like this. So nothing so different, but it's so nice to have this memory, to have this beautiful pamphlet. I think that's really beautiful. Then we have John. Here we go. He's not talking too much, but he talked a lot during the event, actually. uh, in fact, for example, do you wanted to say something else here? Do you wanted to say something else for what's coming later? Ishoni, tanoshimose. That means tanoshimashou. Yeah, Ishoni. It's so good. And yes, even in this interview here, he is saying what I told you before. That means, yeah, I told you previously that in this interview, he's saying that John is, in his opinion, one of the characters that developed the most. And he liked the his favorite scene regarding John. It's written here, and it's when he joined the Chosa Heidan, when finally John decided to join the Chosa Heidan, because he said in that moment John started actually for what he wanted to do. So, and during the event, they mentioned Marco so many times. I was so happy for this, because I think that Marco's loss was even useful for John, for the development of John, because John decided to join Chosahedan because of his loss, and because he made a promise to him. So that was so beautiful. Okay, his autograph that is printed. I mean, they didn't make it on me on this pamphlet. It would have been so awesome. But okay, this is John's voice acting autograph. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. John Kirstein. And then we have Gabi. So great. She's so awesome live. She liked, of course, the Reiner scream scene. And also, it's written here. And also the moment in which Zeke is transforming in the forest with Levi, that battle she likes so much. And then yeah, she's saying that it's a beautiful experience, because she joined at the end, because this is the final season, but she really liked it, to have the opportunity um, to get in touch with the other voice acting. This is so awesome. And yeah, I think, look, if you watch the Magia Recodo, she's Felicia over there too. But I think, yeah, she's a great character, and she's personified by a great voice acting. So let's see how Gabi will evolve. Let's see in part 2 where she will go. This is her Photograph got the and this big art. She's so cute. She's really beautiful. And then here there is the playback here with all the main comments from a Mappa studio. Mappa, the people in charge for each scene of each episode, they are talking here. They are describing a scene after scene. Okay, maybe we will do it in another live streaming or in another occasion because it's quite long. But to put it in few words, they were describing, for example, let me give you an example. Yeah, in this scene of episode 62 here, they are saying that the moment in which they were converting Reiner's experience, Reiner's life into the scenes, it was pretty detailed in lights, colors, and even silence moments. They were so intense when while they were making this scene. Or another example is this episode 66. I'm just summarizing because otherwise this live streaming is ending tomorrow. But okay, yeah, in episode 66, this Mappa, the Mappa studio was saying that uh, what they really wanted to do was to match the perfect intensity between Marley's side and the Paradise. So they wanted to find a way to combine these two worlds fighting for the first time in a direct attack. And then another example that I can give you is this scene 69, and they made it even during the event. I was so happy, and they remade it even reacting that scene. It was when when there was the Connie and Sasha moment when Connie and Sasha they are saying uh, we were all laughing because it was so great. But anyway, here Mappa is saying that here in these a few lines they are saying that this is one of the most important scenes together with Sasha's death here. Oops, episode 67. But anyway, in episode 69, they are saying that um, it's the moment, the scene in which they had to count all of the silence breaks and to put the attention on the silence moments. And they are saying that if they were trying to put this silence in another moment, or if they extended or reduced that silence moment, the scene was not the same. Or, for example, where is it? Um, where is it? Even here, for the creator of this episode of a Mappa from the Mappa team, he is saying that it's one of the best scenes for him. The Kaya moment in which, yeah, in which Gabi is realizing that Gabi killed Sasha, and they were making this face of Kaya with the smallest details because they wanted to reproduce that moment so much, and they were making great details as if as for this part 73, in which the people who were working, the Mappa team who was working for this scene in particular, were saying that this scene in which you have to underline the faces, Eren's face that is angry, Mikasa's face that is so sad and frustrated, and Armin's face They made it in such a great details, even with the eyes, and I agree. It was so intense. One of the best episodes. Yes, one of the, let's say, the top of the season, together with the Sasha's death, and even okay, 74. Even this episode regarding Grisha, Dinah, in which even here they are saying that the faces of Grisha when or Dinah when they are disappointed because of Zeke. They were made with such great details about the face, the eyes, the way they can interpret their disappointment for their kids, for their kid, was so great. And here, because they say, in this last episode, they say, last Raina ga hero no Ninarimas. That means in this scene, we anticipate the last time in which Rainer will be considering himself the hero of the moment. And yeah, when Mappa is saying this, I like these comments here from Mappa because they make me understand many things. So for example, yeah, even the fact that when they are saying that Reiner is becoming for the last time in his mind the hero of the situation, because actually Magato is saying, oh, we are ready to counterattack or things like this, but that's Reiner, and Reiner has to go and Eren has to say Koi Raina. That means I don't want to defeat other people, I want to defeat you, Raina. So Reiner in that moment feels the hero, and that was what he really wanted to become since he was a kid. So that's pretty sad. But of course, then here, yes, sorry, here they are even saying in 2022 you will see. Thank you. Yes, we will see, of course, episode 76. And then here there is all the list of the gadgets that they were over there. For example, there was the calendar, but I didn't buy it sincerely because even if, yeah, it was big, and there was just one problem. They didn't give you any plastic bag or something to put all the gadgets inside. So, in order to keep this, it was an odyssey because I had to go to buy this a file in order to put it inside. I had to buy even a plastic cover, so I didn't want to break it. But yeah, I preferred not to buy the calendar because it was too big and I didn't know where to put it. Because even when you were going to sit, um, no, I mean, where should I have put it? I don't know. There was even the t-shirt. Yeah, actually at first I wanted the t-shirt, but I saw that many people were buying the pamphlet, and I think the pamphlet was the best choice because this is something that it will remind me everything that I lived over there, that I experienced. Plus, it's something unique. I mean, I think that you can buy the calendar online. I think even if it's written, no, it's just written the final season here in the calendar. So I think you can buy it even online. Yeah, the T-shirt is written special event actually, but this pamphlet is something unique, something you can't sell, something you can't buy somewhere else. So I preferred something like this because it's written the date, it's written the place, it's written there are inside the interviews as I showed you, the printed autographs that they are so nice. But anyway, the calendar was 30 euro more or less, while the t-shirt was 28 or 27 euros. Then there are mm, these keychains here. But as I told you, I will put the pictures on Instagram, so go and follow me. You can find even the link in the description here. Then there are these these, I think they are towels or something, in which you have all the characters of Marley and all of the Paradise characters here. And let's see. Then there are these stickers. I think they are stickers. Let's see. Oh no, the badges here. Okay, here we go. But I will show them to you better in on Instagram stories, so don't worry. Um, no, these one, guys, the hair purifying of Eren and Reiner. You put these here at home, and they are going to purify your hair. So that was so nice. But I didn't want to buy that, to be honest, for the same reason. Where should I put them during the event? But I think you can find them online too. Oh no, it's written special event. So in that case, even the towels. No, the towels. No, it's not written special event. Or yes. Oh yeah, it's written. So maybe at this point the calendar only can be sold online, I guess. But then, of course, yes, you have the DVD, the DVD, Blu-ray, and DVD Part One of with the first eight episodes, and the DVD and the DVD. Blu-ray and DVD collection part two with the other eight episodes, but these two were already sold out, and they were pretty expensive because the Blu-ray was 200 euros each. I mean, part one, 200 euros, part two, 200 euros, while the DVD was, no, wait. Oh, yeah, yeah, no. Both Blu-ray and DVD, they are the same price. And then you had even the special box of the Shingeki no Kyojin Chronicle. But you can find all these three items, you can find them online. So nothing different. That's why I wanted to buy the pamphlet. Do you understand what I mean? This is a unique piece. Oh yeah, later we are going to talk about it, Claire. Yes. And then music. You have My War. You have the ending, and you have the CD with the soundtrack. But I preferred to be, and there were, look, there were even all the other CDs. That means season one, season two, season three, all the boxes. But to be honest, I prefer to buy them by myself. I mean, I wanted to have the soundtracks of Shingeki, but I prefer to wait at the end of the final season, the end of the story, because I'm pretty sure that maybe later they are going to make a final box in which there is everything inside, or I will buy the vinyl. That it's another idea. Okay, that was the pamphlet. I hope you understood more or less what it was. But anyway, I will put the main pictures with the better pictures on Instagram, because here, see, there is the light reflection plus the webcam resolution that is not like a camera. So I hope you understand that too. And now here we reached the moment that I wanted to reach the most, because when they were announcing, oh, now let's talk about part two, I was like, no, don't put anything, okay? I don't want to see it. But okay, if it's a trailer, okay. If it's a key visual, okay. But don't talk about part two, please, because if you talk about part two, I have to close my ears. I have to close my eyes. No, I was ready for that, but I was so happy that they didn't put any spoiler over there, as I told you. But when they announced, oh, part two, now let's talk about part two. But then they said, okay, it's time to reveal something to you. And I was like, and then here we go. And the key visual appeared. I was like, oh, 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 oh. I was happy for that key visual to appear. First of all, because it was not a trailer, so I couldn't see anything coming later. Come on, there are just less than 2 months. I can handle it. And second of all, because they were not discussing about anything, and the key visual was enough. And I told you already before going to the event, I was telling you maybe they will show a key visual, maybe they will show a trailer, but nothing else. I think the trailer was enough. That one we saw, it was enough. No great spoilers over there too, I guess. So it was really really nice. But the key visual. Okay, now I printed them. Wait a second. I printed the key visual, so I'm going to check it really quick, so I can tell you what I feel about that key visual that we saw. Uh, wait, let me find it really quick. But look, I have it on my mobile phone, so I can use it now. But I prefer actually to find the picture on the screen here. So I think I downloaded it already. Let's check. Just a second, guys. I'm coming. I'm just trying to find it because I think that I downloaded it. No. No, yes or no? Yes or no? Do I have it or not? Because yesterday when I came back, I was so tired that my eyes were closing. So no, I don't have it. So wait a second that I'm going to transfer it from my mobile phone to where is it? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Ah, this key visual is so amazing. Okay, transfer it, transfer it. Here we go. There we go. Now, just a second that I transferred it already on my computer. The key visual. It's telling us many things. Plus, yeah, I've heard, I read already what Hayashi, the director of Mappa, said, and I agree with him. I mean, here we go. Okay, let's zoom. Yeah. First of all, we have Eren, and I think that Eren was the best choice for this key visual because, as I was telling you, during the how can I move it? Okay, I will look it from my smartphone actually because it's not working so well. Okay, yeah, I have a. Here we go. Um, First of all, I'm happy. I'm looking at the key visual. I'm not looking at. Hey, hello, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I know you pretty well, I guess. But anyway, um, Eren. I liked the fact that this key visual we see Eren because in the previous one we were focusing on his meeting with Ymir because I think she's Ymir. Because if we see um, the only girl that is the same girl that Zeke is seeing somehow at the end of episode 14, maybe. Of course, this key visual had to be centered to the Eren character because this is the most important character of this story. In fact, the title is Shingeki no Kyojin. And that's why I believe that this was the best choice for the final key visual. Um, of course, this story is based on Eren, so we reached already the last part of the story, and it means that his story is ending. His story has to go to the end, right? I really like his eyes. And let me tell you one thing now or never, because I have already read many stupid comments online, like, oh, what a nice fan art. I think, guys, you should pay more respect to all the creators of these anime, and you should stop being so stupid because there's no point of this. If you don't like it, it's better if you watch another anime instead of criticizing everything they do because I think Mappa created a great key visual here. And It's not a fun art. Or if you find me another person that can create this, I am going to say congrats because you're pretty talented, you're pretty great. But I suggest you to stop mocking Mappa Studio or what they are doing because you should be more empathetic. You should understand the pressure they have, and you shouldn't um, mock all the times people who keep working 24 hours per day. This is an insult, and I think that this key visual is pretty awesome. Is awesome because of the colors of Eren's eyes that are green, as much as when he transformed in the basement, I call it basement of Liberio. And I really like those eyes. They reflect Eren. Eren of season one, Eren of season two. That's Eren. Totally. And from the screen, when they were showing us the key visual, I couldn't see in details everything they were showing us here on this side because it was not big enough. Okay, so once I went back home, I could realize all these fragments, and these fragments are Eren. I mean, all these fragments are narrating Eren's story, who Eren is, where does he come from, and they all, by unifying all of them, they can be his memories, they can be what he is, his story. And these fragments, it seems that they are breaking into pieces or something like that. And maybe the reason why you see these fragments floating next to him is because maybe, no, without maybe, at this point, he will die. So he will break into pieces too, because his existence will be demolished, as we all know. Or because this is what Eren is. I mean, this was able to become this because of this. And all these fragments are telling a story, are telling a chapter of the story of Eren. No matter if it's a good chapter or a sad or a bad chapter, but this is life. This is what we are. We are memories. We are fragments of life that we have lived. So I think Eren here is really angry. He is angry because angry but sad at the same time because he knows that he is reaching the end of his mission and now there is no turning back anymore. So now he has to fulfill this mission, and I already told you what I believe that it's happening. I don't think that it's necessary for me to repeat. If you wanted to hear what I think, you just go back to watch the other live streamings of the rewatch, recent rewatch. But I like Eren. Many people didn't like Eren in season one. Many people didn't like Eren in season two. But I think that that was the perfect evolution of a character as for the feelings he felt. And this is the result. I mean, after all he experienced here, this is the final result. That means a person who is not going back, a person who's moving forward, a person who accepted who he is now. That means the Shingeki no Kyojin. And the determination in his eyes. Okay, yeah, I said angry, but actually it's just a determination that he has because now or never. I mean, he has to finish what he started, what other people started before him. And this is reconducting me to the PV trailer. I mean, to the preview trailer, teaser trailer, in which he is saying to Ymir, For 2000 years, you were hoping, you were waiting for somebody to come. That's me. This is the person who's going to end this cycle. The person who is finishing what other people couldn't do. And this person is the person that is embodying all the others, because these fragments are not just memories, are or are all the people who met Eren, are all the people who were part of Eren's story, are all the people who helped Eren to become what he is now, in the good and in the bad. So finally, Ymir has the person who can embody 2000 years. So that's why the title of the episode is really coherent to you after 2000 years. Because after 2000 years, he's the result of all the bad actions that happened before, of all the wars, of all the mistakes, and all these things, especially the bad things, have to be erased. And nobody else can do it except for him. So I absolutely like that there is the tree. What I call it the tree, okay? But there is this conjunction with Ymir, because these are the paths. But these paths, as I told you, they can be called or they can be seen even as for the branches of a tree. And I told you this already. Eren is always connected to trees somehow. So, yeah. And he always has the same shirt. No, but I really like him with the long hair. He is like Papa. He is like a Grisha. And what Grisha couldn't make, he will make it. Because that's his destiny. That's his purpose. That's why, if we believe in destiny, we can say that he was born for this. He didn't choose to become a Titan, but he was forced because he was transformed. But it's his destiny to choose what to do, to choose his path, and to end this. By embodying the Shingeki no Kyojin, I think that's the best character that can fit this role. If we check the fragments, there are some fragments that are bigger and some other fragments that are smaller. And from my perspective, the bigger ones, they are the most important for him. There are the memories that could change him more than other things. That doesn't mean that the little fragments are less important, but I think that if you check the big fragments, the big pieces here, you see the most important moments in Eren's life, or the most important people for him. Let's analyze them really quick, if I can find them. Okay, I start from, oh, what I saw. If you check the two previous live streaming that I made, I mean, the part 1 and part 2 of episode 11, the first here on top, you see the two birds. I'm speechless because I remember what I said last week. And tomorrow I wait you for the rewatch of episode 12. But anyway, the birds. I already explained you a lot about these birds. They are two for a reason. They fly in the sky for a reason. This is episode 1 of season 1, the birds. And it's not just we are free because we can go beyond the walls. At the beginning, we thought something like this, but now it's not like this. It has another meaning, in my opinion. Then if I'm wrong, I'm happy to rewrite everything next. From January, I wait you here with the all live streamings talking about this. Then I'm checking all the big fragments, okay? Then there is, let me see. I think, oh yeah, then there's Mikasa here. Here, here. Mikasa screaming because she is rescuing Eren in season one, and she's the first one to hug him. Good. Then, yeah, the birds mean something, I know. I think the birds represent freedom. The birds represent Eren as he is, because he's searching for freedom, and we all know. I mean, no, we all know. Know my vision of the things, and the bird is Eren flying for his freedom after his death, because death is his real freedom. This is what I believe. But anyway, oh, then we see another big fragment is Grisha when he is transforming him into a titan, and it's a big change for his life. Absolutely. We see Zeke as the beast titan here. There we go. These can have a negative connotation because, as a beast titan, we know that since the beginning he created lots of problems to him before knowing his vision of things. But the beast titan is a bad memory for him because everything started because of him, and because thanks to him his mother died. So Zeke as a beast titan is a problem, is a bad memory that can't be erased. No matter if he's his brother or not, it's hard for Eren to forget. This is a season 3 part 2 actually. The moment in which Zeke is throwing the rocks, and there is the Shigashina battle in season 3 part 2. Then there is the Eye of Armin here, because Armin anyway is an important part of his life too, because he's his best friend. So of course it can't be reduced as a fragment like this, because it's a thanks to Armin. Actually, everything, if you think about it, everything started by Armin, by his will to discover the world, to go beyond and to see what's going on, to see all these continents of of salt, that means the ocean, or the sand, that means the desert, and things like this. So everything started from his dream, but then it turned into a nightmare. Actually, yeah. Then we have Historia. I think she's important because this is the moment in which Eren is changing. I mean, this is the season 3 part 2. At the end, when he's seeing, when he's making that scene, while he is seeing things happening past or future, I still don't know because they didn't show us. But this is the moment in which, thanks to his story, and thanks to him touching her, Eren is changing, because he's seeing something, maybe something that is happening in the future. Maybe he saw Sasha's death, maybe he saw something bad that was happening later. So this is a turning point. This is something that is changing Eren so much. And also because, anyway, she's coming from the race family, and she has the royal blood, and anyway, she's pretty important to Eren, but not in the way many people thought. Because they thought, oh, Eren is going to have a baby from Historia. Oh, Eren, I don't know. I don't think so, but let's see. Or Eren, he's loving Historia. No. No, no. Remember that hate is a great feeling, and many times when people are angry or when people want to separate from others because they want to protect them, they use the word hate, but it's love. Anyway, oh, then we have here a Reiner that is breaking the breach, the breach, yes, the breach. In episode 2 of season 1, when of course this is going to kill Carla, absolutely. I think she is Frida. Yes, she is Frida Reis, and Frida is important because then Eren could see what happened between Grisha and Frida and why Frida said no when Grisha said, "Come on, let's do something." No. So that was an important event too. We see Hanji here, and she was so important to Eren because she was the first one actually to talk to Eren for so many hours. I mean, she was talking, she was not listening to Eren, but she had that moment with Eren in season 1 when they were talking so many hours, and I think that helped Eren somehow with his personality too. Of course, then we have Mikasa with the scarf, and that the scarf is so essential, so important. I still remember when in season 2 there were people who were saying, come on, Eren doesn't love Mikasa. Come on, they are brothers and sisters. Yes, yes, they are brothers and sisters. Okay. Okay, I'm commenting without knowing, but I don't think so. I think I can recognize love instead of friendship or brotherhood and things like this. But anyway, we see Carla with Eren, tiny Eren here. It's pointless for me to comment this because it's a mother and son. So, and one of the biggest fragment is this: Dinah Fritz eating Eren, eating Carla, Eren's mom. This moment, I think, is the biggest fragment. Oh yeah, together with the Historia, while in season 3, part 2, he's touching her hand while kissing her hand. But yeah, this moment is the biggest one because everything started from this for him. This is Eren's story. So for him, this is the starting point. And it's a moment, like my mother said in episode 1, it's a moment that he will never forget. And of course, here it is. Then we have Faye, even if it's a little bit tinier. Yeah, that's the aunt he was not able to meet, but just thanks to the memories of somebody else, that means his father. Then we have here, I think this is, yeah, it's Bertold, but actually this, wait a second, because there is this same here too, I guess. I think, yeah, this is Bertold, actually. Yeah, you see it even in the pamphlet here. See, where is it? Here we go. That's Bertold because, of course, even Bertold was important to Eren because he appeared in episode 1 as a moment that changed his life, but also because they were Uragirimono, they were traitors. And that moment changed Eren too, when he discovered that Reiner and Bertold, they were Uragirimono, that means traitors. Then, oh, see? In fact, another big frame here, another big fragment is the Colossal Titan. When he appeared in season 1, episode 1, unforgettable. Ah, then there are even the comrades. The comrades, Petra and the other one, sorry, I don't remember his name right now. They are important because it's because of him that they died, actually, because if he transformed, I mean, if he didn't listen to Levi, or if he didn't change his mind, actually, Levi didn't say don't do that. He said, think about it. It's up to you. But by saying this, and by hearing their voices saying, look, trust us, Aaron, we can do it, we can do it. He trusted them, but he will always feel the regret that he couldn't save. Um, he couldn't save them, all of them, all the people who died because of him. So they are just a symbol, okay, of all the people who died. Here we go. Of all the people who died because of him. So when Connie is saying Eren doesn't care about anymore. I mean, he doesn't care anymore about us or all the people he killed because of him. Or when Hanji said lots of the people died because they had to rescue. Yes, it's true, but I don't think that he's forgetting about this. He's always regretting that he couldn't do anything to help them. Um, Oh, then another great moment, the key of the basement when he was showing the he was showing I mean Grisha was showing him this key, and even this key was the myth of the key. What can we find in this basement? What can we see in this basement? What kind of truth is inside that basement? And after they discovered this, Eren changed once again. So as you can see, all these fragments are, yes, part of his life, but are all specific moments of his life that, especially the big fragments, that changed his life drastically. So, and then here we have, who's here? Is it Mikasa? Is it Mikasa? Hmm, I think so, or not. Yeah, I think it's Mikasa. And then there is even Peak. Oh, there is this moment, I think, let's see. Yes, Grisha's eyes, Armin and Mikasa together. They are all, yeah, these were the biggest. Yeah, there is even a Reiner. Uh, oh yeah, there is a Falco at the beginning of season four, lying. See here, episode one of season four, because even a Falco was an important step in his life somehow. But the biggest, yeah, they are Grisha, Historia, Mikasa, Frida, Bertold, Dinah, and yeah, and of course, yeah, Armin. The Zeke, yes, there's Zeke too, but it's not big as much as them because, and also from these things, you should understand what's more important to Eren. It's not Zeke, no matter if he's the big brother, but no, that makes you understand that he doesn't agree with Zeke. Otherwise, Zeke here would have been bigger. Here, the biggest pictures are the pictures of his family and his best friends and his love. So Eren will stand on their side. And I still trust what he said in that sunset scene that we saw even during the event yesterday. You are so important to me. I wish you to live a longer life. That means he can't agree with Zeke because Zeke would have exterminated them too. But this is not going to happen. They will survive, except for Connie. Why I say this is because I said it already in the previous rewatch. So I suggest you to go and check out all the rewatch that I make, because once part two will start, you already know my feelings. You already know what I think that it's going to happen. You already know that when during the reaction I will say, ah, I told you that, I was right, no, no, no. It's because I said it during the rewatch of a part one, not because I'm crazy. So yeah, I think this key visual is great because we are memories. And but in this case, Eren is not just his memories, but is the memories of Grisha, and he has a heavy burden to carry. He always had a heavy burden to carry, but at the beginning in season one, he was just a boy. And if you're a boy, your reaction can't be the same as when you're an adult. So I don't condemn Eren in season one because he cried a lot, because he felt hopeless, because he was not strong enough, he was not good enough. He was a boy, and he lived a tragedy. So even if he was the main character, he couldn't be the same, or he couldn't be the same as all the others because we are all different. So for the first time at the beginning, we saw a character that was showing you the fragility of what he was at that moment. He was not having his parents anymore. His life changed drastically in like this, in few seconds. So how is it supposed to be as if okay, let's try to be Eren right now. uh, your father disappears, your mother is killed in front of your eyes, you lose the stability you had so far, and everything is turning into a nightmare in few minutes. Would you cry? Would you scream? Or would you be the hero of the story? Yeah, now I'm going to kill them all. Yes, he's saying that, but this is the revengeful thoughts that we all have in the case we have a moment like this, a tragedy like this. So I think that if I put myself in Eren's position season one, I would have been like him. I would have cried hard. I would have screamed. I would have felt hopeless in front of these titans. It's so realistic. And why this path of Eren is realistic is because when you're a boy and you dream a lot, you hope a lot, but the more you become an adult, the more you have the vision of the world that is totally changing. And you understand that you can't cry anymore, that you have to be ready to fight, that you have to be an example for others, that you made lots of mistakes, but now you are sure that you will not make the same mistake, and you're ready to put the end as a tag for all that you also created. Because yeah, Eren is realistic because he made mistakes in the previous seasons. He still can't accept those mistakes. He always feels the regrets for all he did or for what happened. He is realistic. We also have regrets in our lives. We also feel guilty for something. And those guilt moments, those guilt memories will never fade away from our brain. So I admire Eren because, yeah, even when people say, Emma, how can you admire a person who killed lots of people? Uh, I don't say that he did something good. I say that this is a consequence, and as a consequence, we have to judge it as it is. Not that Eren one day woke up in the morning and said, I'm going to kill all of you. Because if he had that intention, he would have agreed with Zeke, but I still believe that he's not agreeing with Zeke, that he has to meet Ymir because he has to put an end to this, to his story. And the best way is to turn into the villain to turn into the mean character, to be hated, because he's embodying everything bad that happened. He is embodying even his father, who did something so bad to Zeke, who did so bad things to all the team of the restorationists, the people who wanted to defeat Marley, to the uncle of Falco. He did so many things, bad things in general. He was forcing his son. So Eren is embodying not just his memories, but even the memories of Grisha, even the memories of what happened before, because he has even the Shiso Titan too. So he is embodying 2,000 years. And that's why it's better if he's turning, thanks to Ymir, that's what I believe, he's turning into this huge titan. And that's why, from what I think from the key visual, he is asking the help of Ymir. He talks to Ymir. He is asking her for help because he knows that now it's time to end this thing. It's time to end by embodying all the pain, all the mistakes, all the things that he did or he didn't do, but the previous owners did, everything. By embodying all this, he will turn into the final form of Ymir. The same final form you find in season 3 when they are explaining about Ymir. Ymir was a giant titan. She transformed into this great big woman. Do you remember? He will ask Ymir, sorry, can you give me your power? Okay, I will transform in the final form as you did many centuries ago, 1,000 years ago. And by doing this, I will turn into this embodiment. By embodying all these bad things, other people will kill me. I'm ready to be killed by my friends because this is the only death that I can accept. Okay. And I know that by being killed by my friends, I'm relieved because I can accept this death because they are killing me, not other people. Reiner is not going to kill me. My friends are going to kill me, so it's okay. Even if it's not okay, but it's okay. It's better than nothing. And second of all, because I can be free. Because, I mean, all the heavy thoughts of others, all the bad actions of others that Eren is embodying right now, he feels so heavy. And by being killed, he will reach freedom. Even if this is something bad to say, because I don't like when the people, for example, end their lives by thinking something like this. But Eren doesn't have other choice. Eren has a time limit to live, so anyway, he had to die. So let's die in the best way. Let's die by doing something great. But the question is it going to change things for real or not? Are these things changing for Eren only or for the rest of the world? Because here we are talking about Shingeki no Kyojin. We are not talking about Paradise Island, or we are not talking about the world of Titans, or we are not talking about the Sekai, or I mean the world of humanity, the humanity's world. No. The title of the story is Shingeki no Kyojin. So is this a sacrifice helping him only? Or is this a sacrifice or the thing that by embodying all these things, all these bad things, pain, war, conflicts, blah 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 blah, brainwash, da 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 da. Is this a thing happening even later? I mean, after Eren's death, things are going to change or not? Stay tuned. I mean, I want to see this. I hope to understand what's happening later. with those 8 extra pages, because this will make us understand, was Aaron's death in vain, or was it meaningful? Was it meaningful for him only, or for the rest of the world? Did he help himself only? Was he selfish, or did he help the rest of the world too? Did he inspire the world not to repeat the same mistakes as before, or not? Mm, humanity is complex. Even if we have great examples of bad things we did in the past, we keep repeating them in other ways, but we keep repeating them. So Isayama created a realistic story, because my fear is that Eren is dying and he's free finally, after all the pain, the expectations he had from others on him. But is it going to change something or not? We will see. But anyway, yeah. Um, Sorry, I talked too much, but this key visual is great because we are made of memories. When we have amnesia, we lose these fragments and we lose part of ourselves. We lose part of us. So these fragments are Eren, are what Eren is now. This is experience, not just memories. This is experience. And this is why Eren can't be the boy of season 1 anymore. There is a fragment of him like this because that was part of him and it will never die. But that was innocence and this is experience. So I like this key visual. It's so meaningful. It's, metaphorically speaking, this is the path of life that he chose. And great, because from these fragments, once again, I tell you, you understand what's important to Eren and what's not important to Eren. I mean, his friends, his love, his father, his mother, they are the most important things. And the rest is coming later. So Eren will keep the promise, definitely. And I feel sorry when Connie is saying, he's not no more the Eren we know. No, you're making a mistake. Eren is always that Eren, you know, but he has to do what he has to do because that's how his life has to go. So he will not break the promise. They will survive. Once again, except for Connie, because I have an idea about this too. I mean, I told you already in summary watch ago, but I think, I said it before. If you pay attention on the moment in which he's saying, you are so important to me, and I want you to live a long life, when they are talking about who's going to own Eren's Titan, when Connie is talking, Eren is making a sad face, and he's saying, Connie. And when Sasha is talking after Connie, he's making another sad face, and he's saying, Omaera. That means you guys. Plural, Omaera. Okay? And it's referring to them only, to those two, not to all of them, to those two. So Sasha is dead, and even Connie will die at this point. So the people who have to survive, or the people who will survive after the battle, in my opinion, are Mikasa, Armin, John. I hope Levi, because Levi was not in that scene. I hope Hanji too. But yeah, Connie and Sasha, no. And in fact, Sasha is already dead. And I think at this point that even Connie will die. This is the only reason I have. If you look at that sentence, if you look at that scene, Eren is not saying anything to John, is not saying anything to Mikasa, is not saying anything to Armin. He is just talking when Connie and Sasha are talking. So that's a sign. I don't think it's a coincidence. And in fact, for Sasha, we saw it already. But by being a twins, as Connie says, even Connie has to go. This is what I believe. Yeah. Then, if he's going to survive, sorry, Connie, because I'm saying that you're dying. But this is what I think. And even Falco will survive because he said, Eren already said to him on the bench, I hope you have a long life. You remember? So he will be saved too. And by being saved, he will save Gabi too. I already told you my opinions about this. Because Falco will never betray the promise he made to Reiner. So she will be saved. But where they will live, I don't know. I already told you many things in the previous rewatches, so go and check them out. You can find them on the channel. Okay, I think I said everything about the key visual. There's nothing else to say from my perspective, but that's great. I like it, and with long hair. Yeah. He seems like a Grisha, but Grisha this time, Eren this time, his son will not make a mistake. And by ending his life, he will end even Grisha's life somehow. So he will maybe finally rest in peace. And all the previous owners or all the previous people. Yeah. Let me read all of your comments. I'm so sorry I talked too much, but I'm trying my best. Finally, rewatch season 4 part 1 for the first time this weekend. So now I can actually watch these live streamings. So thank you, Claire. Thank you so much for the support. Besides the new key visual, did they say something interesting, Lorenzo? I explained everything during the live streaming. Sasha's voice actor was the cutest. I got emotional at the end. Yes, me too, Stefan. We are together in this. I'm not surprised it lasted 2 hours, 90 minutes. Seemed too short. Yes, actually, I was surprised too about this. Hopefully, there is another event if there is a movie. I already answered to you something like this. I think if there will be a movie, yes, I think so. Excited to hear about it. Thank you, Brandon. The scene was very impactful. I can't imagine how strange it must have. Oh yeah, that scene. Once again, I say it. Yeah, hard scene to watch, but so well done. Yeah, absolutely. I love Romy Park. We are together in this. Claire, I love that too. Hi, Andrew. Hello. What an amazing experience. Yes, it was. Now the final season is coming. When anime ends, will you read the manga? Yes, for sure. I promised it to you already. Yes, I will read the manga. I hear that the Blu-ray are very expensive in Japan. Oh yeah, they are. Andrew, the picture is so awesome. Yeah, the key visual is so amazing. I watched it on Twitter. The birds mean something. Yeah, and then ha 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 ha. Eraki. Yes, Stefan. Yes. Okay, thank you so much for all of your comments you wrote to me today. And see you tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to rewatch episode 12. If you missed the rewatch of episode 11, go and check out, because I mean, I made a theory that if it's right, look. Okay. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for being with me today with these huge live streaming. See you tomorrow with the rewatch of episode 12. And see you tomorrow even for the other episode of Code Geass season 2. Thank you so much. Thank you. It was an incredible experience. See you on Instagram with the pictures, the better quality pictures of the pamphlet. Thank you. Bye, guys. See you in the next live streaming. See you in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much.